Hey guys, I made it to the Yamaha booth. I'm with Drew Engelmann.
Hey, Court.
Sales and Marketing Manager.
Yep.
How are we doing? How's the show going, man?
It's been amazing. We've had so much fun this past couple days, bringing the Yamaha Power Assist bicycle brand to the U.S. market finally.
Well, probably been nuts because people have been really excited. You got this huge, awesome booth. All these really cool bikes. I think last year I was walking around and I saw, it was kind of like a sneak peek, the one with the drop bars.
You saw the YPJR that's available in Japan right now, yes.
Sweet, sweet. So when are we getting that?
In spring 2018, we're going to be launching the all-new Power Assist models that you see here in prototype format.
Oh, prototypes.
Yes, very, very secret. Everything you see here is in a different level of the prototype process, and the Urban Rush is the one you're speaking of right now.
Can we walk over that way?
Absolutely.
Is this what this guy's looking at? The Urban Rush.
So the Urban Rush is the command all commuter, if you will. That is for the rider that really wants to kind of win off the start line at the crosswalks and the stoplights.
Yeah.
Of course, it's got a great chassis, and I look forward to sharing more about the spec detail in the future with you, but buzzkill, can't talk about it today.
Well, I'm going to just scope the prototype myself for a minute here. I noticed that you've got a couple chain rings up front. That's one of the unique aspects of the Shimano PW motor system.
Absolutely. Between the PW and the PWX, we've got a really great range that we're going to be able to offer the U.S. market next year.
Okay, fantastic. And coming up here a little bit closer, really nice light integration. And then this, what is this display? Is this one part of the new PWX thing?
That is technology that you see that's been existing in the PWX system thus far, and it's what we've got mounted on the bikes today.
Okay, what is it called? I'm just curious. It's the first time I've seen it.
There's some really cool stuff here that has really cool names, and I cannot wait to share with you later.
Let's go to the show and put all our stuff on display and not talk about it.
Oh, I know.
It's okay. How about this one? What are we looking at over here?
This is the Crosscore. This is our fitness edition that is really suited for those people that really want to kind of charge it both as a fitness workout, but in addition to that, they also want to take it as a commuter for possibly going to work, going to the store, getting to the gym even.
This looks really lightweight. You know, when I just look at it, it's like got kind of a rigid setup, efficient tires, nice brakes here. We've got, what are those, like heat sinks, the bladed calipers?
Those are actual fins to, dissipate the heat of the brake pad.
Yeah, heat fins. I like it. And then this is kind of cool too. This is the first time I've seen this display. It reminds me of like it's a little button pad that's within reach, maybe with a walk mode. Is that what that is?
This is actually a select mode that helps you rotate through the functions of the computer without having to leave the position of the grips.
You know, I'm curious, even if we can't say what this is called, I've noticed that it seems really well protected and almost looks rugged, like one of those tough books or something like that. What was the idea? Can you tell me?
It was actually direct feedback from consumers that we learned from our OEM partners, in addition to consumers that we see from other brands that asked for a display system that was a little bit out of the way and also had maybe a slightly more stealth look to it.
Stealth, yeah, that's great language. And I was even thinking like the battery design. I noticed most of the bikes out here that we've looked at were kind of darker colored, and the battery pack is really well integrated. What's the capacity on your pack there?
So right now we're keeping all the spec details completely secret until we launch it with the retailers at the end of this year. But it's something that we're going to be on par with the PWX systems that people have heard about thus far.
Oh, okay. Well, and I was just thinking like the Haibikes and the stuff that we've seen in the past.
Yep. Yeah. So OEM and Haibike, or OEM Business, Haibike, Giant, and Easy Motion by BH. All those partnerships are maintained in our Japanese offices, and they get to kind of work together to design the things specific to the experiences they're looking for their customers.
It's interesting you say that, because Giant had it's sort of an internally built battery.
Sure, and that battery design is developed by Giant for Giant. They use the PWX and the PW series as a motor, but the rest of the design is custom designed by them.
It's neat that you allow that. Like I've seen from Broza, for example, where they have like different batteries can be designed by Specialized or whoever. And in this case, for at least all the prototypes I'm seeing, Yamaha is sticking to that traditional pack design. That I imagine it's easier to support that way. And the battery process down the line, you're able to like slap a new battery in there. I was just doing a little presentation talking about e-bikes, and one of the questions that came up was like, shipping e-bikes and the whole battery thing. And when you have a battery that's standardized, like you guys seem to, then maybe you could pick up a loaner battery on site, like at a dealer or something.
Yeah, we hope that there's going to be, as this category is growing across the U.S., that the aftermarket accessories for retailers will be something we'll be able to see stock at stores. And that is something we absolutely consider to be a future option.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, you like fly your bike to another city and just grab your Yamaha battery and stick it on.
Exactly.
Okay, well, fantastic. Maybe we can wander back over to the stats, because we were kind of, I got excited and took us off track. Which motor is this, on this?
This is the PWX system. This is newly launched in the USA this year, and in the PWX, we actually were really excited to announce that we won the Interbike Award of Innovation for the electric category.
Sweet.
Ta-da!
Is this what you get, this plastic thing? That is sweet.
You know what? Actually, this is what we got.
Oh, no touching.
Under lock and key, as we are very, very excited. And
is that the PWX?
That's the PWX.
It's tiny.
It is. It's actually 13% smaller in design and almost a full pound lighter compared to the PW series.
Gee whiz. So what is that? What's the actual weight then?
So the actual weight is still TBD, and I say TBD because with our OEM partners, they can do some tuning elements to it that might have a different mass index than others.
Oh,
so,
okay. Like the casing and stuff?
Exactly. Well, the casing, not so much, but the way that the motor works for their experiences.
Huh.
Yeah, so that actually may change what the overall weight could be.
More copper winding in there? Or? We don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. You can't. I'm not trying to push you. I'm just kind of curious.
No, I really want to be able to answer the questions today, but we will be able to speak more as the product is launched to the market in spring.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that this is smaller. It's roughly a pound lighter than the PW.
Yep.
And I heard something about maybe, this chart up here.
Right.
One of the things that I talked about in the past when I was riding on the Yamaha PW system is okay, well, it supports you, how quickly you're spinning matters. At a certain point, you have to shift gears because the motor is kind of okay, we've reached 100 RPM. And now it looks like this red, that's the PWX?
That's correct.
So it goes fast, higher cadence.
Right. Not only will it work at a faster cadence, but it actually has an extra power assist mode than what's on the PW series. It's accompanied with a quicker response on the engagement of the crank arm as well. So this system here, these are pawls that you would traditionally find in a system like in a free hub body.
That little green thing?
Exactly. And so this is the PW series, and the PWX, we've actually added red ones.
Huh.
I mean, we've actually doubled the amount there. And in addition to adding additional pawls, we actually increase the amount of teeth on the ratchet ring itself.
I was noticing that, yeah, so there's more teeth. So this is when sometimes you hear someone who has a fancy, like mountain bike, and it's
yeah,
because it's got more teeth.
Exactly right. So that's the sound you hear of being chased by angry bees, and it's a great sound. We all love it as mountain bikers. And road riders for that matter, so
sound of
it
quality.
means efficiency, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So faster response and maybe a little bit more robust with the extra pawls.
Yes, maybe, well, not even maybe. The overall design is designed for a much more aggressive application of the motor and of the ride experience.
Is that the X? Extreme!
It's very extreme. Yep.
Well, cool. It's neat to see this up close. I want to just bend down and look at the, it looks similar to the other motor, and you've got that plastic skid plate going on for protection, really nice integration. I also noticed that it's in terms of the crank arms, they're fairly close together.
So the Q factor, or the width factor of the actual spindle on the motor, is closer together than it would be on the PWX. Now the crank arms are able to be adjusted as well for width to get the Q factor so that we can have a really good bike fit, where the feet are centered underneath the knees or centered underneath the hips, and have a really good neutral riding position for a lot more stability on trails where a more aggressive experience might be expected.
So what I hear you saying, we were talking about Q factor, and you can bring the crank arms in a little bit, but you said it was adjustable. So does that mean if you have a fat bike that you can bring them out and so they don't hit the chainstays?
Sure, great question actually. So as far as the adjustability of it, it is in the crank arm design itself. So crank arms have a different Q factor measurement from the actual mount onto the spindle itself to where your pedals would go. Manufacturers can work with brands like FSA or brands like SRAM and Shimano or Praxis for that matter, that have a design that's specific to the experience that they're hoping for their customers.
Like the fat bike. So that's one way of saying they can pick what crank arms they want to fit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Do you guys have any fat bikes in the works from Yamaha? Or
Yamaha's a really, really good, or say Yamaha's a strong believer in, we don't talk about future product.
Oh, okay.
So what we have here today is a bit of a heads up to our retail partners that this is what we're going to be opening up with our bread and butter lineup that's going to help them introduce the line to the U.S.
Okay, well, when might we see these Yamaha electric bikes in the U.S.?
Yep.
When am I going to go to a dealer and see it?
Yeah, we're looking early spring, but right now you can check it out at YamahaBicycles.com. There's a bit more information there as well. We've got a fun little video on there showing the experience of the bikes in addition to the models we're going to be launching in the spring. Awesome. And spec geo, all those details will be coming very soon, but we've got a little while before those are locked in.
What haven't I asked that just might be interesting? Because I mean, I'm asking questions and we're kind of hitting a wall on stuff, and that's okay. You know, there will be more updates. It's neat to just see and find out that you could buy a Yamaha. Are there any pricing details or just anything else?
Yeah, pricing again is part of the retail relationship, and we're still establishing that right now. One of the cool things to note is that you will be able to find it from your local bike shop.
Oh, cool. And so like independent electric bike dealers.
Exactly
and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So we'll be there, and we'll have a sales staff be able to support them as well.
Wow. Okay. Any other 2018 things we should know? I mean,
Well, we also have the Cross Connect as well, and so the Cross Connect is a little bit more suited towards a bit more of an urban utility.
Wow.
With a suspension fork up front, rack system as well designed into it. So someone
like
that's going to want
this.
to take the gear with them and have a 180-degree fender. So you're going to keep those nice slacks clean on the way to work, and also if you're running a grab commuting, or if you're commuting and you want to put panniers on, you don't have to worry about a lot of that debris getting into your food.
Another double chainring thing going on. And these are plastic, guys, but they seem to be sort of tubular. They've got
so this is a design by Racktime, and Racktime actually, we've been working with them to develop this specific to our needs and our motor system. I've seen it in a couple other designs, which is really cool, because that means that more people are going to be able to experience a great rack system that is functional but also adds a safety element to it as well.
And fenders that maybe don't rattle as much, because they are like, here, let's come to the front.
Sure.
So yeah, got this little, okay, so I'm just shaking it all in here, the tapered head tube, and this is it's kind of a tougher like city bike.
Yeah, it's definitely able to be ridden on multiple styles of paths. We think that from our time talking with customers that we've worked with in surveys, that this is the kind of bike they would gravitate to as their e-bike.
One thing that I've noticed about and been frustrated about with Yamaha stuff is that the charger is freaking huge. It's like as big as this, and it's kind of heavy. Do you know anything about that? Is there a new charger?
Oh man, I so want to share so many things with you, but I just can't today.
That's okay. I can. We'll hope to see. Look, I mean, this is a big company that's been in the power sports industry for a long time.
Yeah, we've been in the bicycle industry for a long time too, since 1993. So in Japan, we actually launched world's first technology with the Yamaha electric power assist bicycle called the Pass.
Okay.
And we had prototypes going back way beyond that as well. And since then, we've actually sold over 2 million Yamaha bicycles and 4 million e-kit motors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so this is the kind of setup. This is a wild card question, but it's always going to be a built-in OEM thing, right? So we talked about some of the brands you partnered with. Now you have your own Yamaha labeled bikes, but it's not like you have a kit or something like that.
No, we are sticking strictly with the Yamaha designed bicycles that you see here today as our entry into the US market, and our partnerships with our OEM, again, Easy Motion and Haibike and Giant. We definitely intend on keeping those relationships strong. We love those guys. They've been great for us as a partner, and we hope to equal that value to them.
I'm glad to hear that, because there was some question. It's like, okay, well, we right over there we have Easy Motion. I think they have more Yamaha powered bikes this year than ever before.
Yeah.
And you're right across the aisle, and it's like, whoa. So you're offering like some different unique frames. I don't think they have a drop bar model, for example. So
well, actually, they're actually launching one of their drop bar models this year as well. So it's really cool.
Competitors. No, friends.
Colleagues and friends in this category. Absolutely. No, we've actually got close personal friends that work at all the brands that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And with the exception of Giant not being here at Interbike today, we start our morning with hugs and handshakes.
I'm glad to hear that. And there's a lot of friendship and camaraderie even between like dealers and stuff, because they're geographically dispersed. And maybe, I mean, I noticed over there like really bright colorful type of stuff, and then over here this is a little sleeker and more. So I don't know, I guess people choose different bikes. Is there anything else you'd like to say about the Yamaha lineup that differentiates it? Or
the tactile feel is the thing that we find most important. When customers are mentioning to us as we're developing these products together with them, the contact points are ultimately important, and really the sensations that are in their feet, their hands, and their derriere is very important to them, and we are going to be answering to that.
Got some ergonomic grips up here. Speaking to that last mention, I thought I saw some pedals. I guess none of these have pedals. Where did the pedals go?
You need pedals too?
I know, right? Drew, I've had a lot of fun. I'll ask one more time if there's any other 2018 stuff that you care to share.
No, this is what we're going to be launching here in the spring 2018. Again, YamahaBicycles.com. Can't wait to have you guys come see us there.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'll see you next time, and you'll have even more to share with me.
Thanks,
maybe
buddy.
I'm going to walk around and just call out some of the other bikes here. Look at this. This is kind of a white version, maybe what we looked at before, but a different color.
Yeah, so we have a couple different colors that we're showing here today in the Cross-Core, Cross-Connect, and we have the opposing colors that you see on this side of the room.
Yeah, I see now. Yeah, and I'd shout out for some of the lighter colors. This is nice because it's sort of unisex to me. Here, let's come over to this.
Absolutely. It's got some really cool style lines to it, and some colors that are definitely what the electric bike retailers and independent retailers selling electric bikes have asked for, is a great balance of both mostly darker colors and mostly light colors.
The darker colors hide the cords and the batteries really well, but the lighter colors give you a good visual footprint.
Yes, and we actually took a really strong approach to making sure that safety at nighttime is of the utmost priority. So again, in future conversations, we can share with you what we're doing with that.
Will there be step-throughs? Can you say that? I don't see any step-throughs today.
There's only so much space in the booth.
That's true. And I'd imagine with bikes like this. Your batteries, one of the cool things about it is that they slide out from the side, so you're able to do a lower top tube.
Yes, and as you can imagine, as a brand that's been working internationally, the height of a bike and the standover bike is vitally important to a lot of different demographics. And
Yamaha's a Japanese company?
It is.
Did you just call Japanese people short? Was that the inference?
No. We're
like, we're working internationally. We have different sizes, and we have to take this. Whatever. It's all good.
I think side exit battery is.
We're out of things to talk about. I think we've covered it. I appreciate your time again,
Thanks
Drew.
Thanks for putting me in that light. I appreciate
have a good time, and thank you, Yamaha. We're excited to have you. Okay guys, we're on one of the Easy Motion Rebel bikes, which has the new Yamaha PWX motor. Again, up to 80 Newton meters of torque. And in this case, the display has an extra level of assist that I can use. It might be a little bit different than Yamaha's own bikes, but I wanted to show this just up close. Remember, it has the 4 pawls and there's more teeth, so it's going to catch a little bit quicker and just, be a little bit higher cadence operation as well. So let's see how it does. Cadence right there. It worked pretty well, and it did feel zippy. Does not have shift detection type of software, so you heard it probably bang at the end, like kunk, kunk, kunk. But definitely zippy. Got me up to the 20 miles per hour very easily. Still, the cadence, it felt like I kind of hit a wall at a certain point there, but better, it's nice. Okay, so this is the new display panel, and you just press the power button for a second, it comes to life, and it's got that blue glow. I don't know if you could turn that off, but it looks all right. A little bit smaller than some of the other displays, but a little stealthier too. It's positioned far back. It's not going to collide with anything while you're turning, doing sharp turns. And then there's the button pad. We've got the up and down arrows and select. So right now I'm in cadence. I can also do time, odometer, trip, average speed, max speed, distance. So distance is cool when I arrow up to the lowest level of assist plus eco, so 76 miles. And then as I go higher, eco 58 miles, standard 44, high 39. This is not even a full battery. It looks like it has 7 or 8 bars out of 10. Distance, let's see, 34 miles, and that's the highest, EXPW. That's how we know that this is a PWX motor. That's the new motor from Yamaha, and yellow. So that gives us kind of a visual cue as to like what level you're in, just in the peripheral. view. Walk mode wasn't working. I was trying that, and it just, I don't know if it's maybe disabled on these. And then light, there are no lights built into this, but it doesn't really do anything there. So anyway, I wanted to come back to, let's see, cadence. Cadence is really cool. As I'm riding, I'm going to give you some feedback about what I'm feeling, and we can watch that cadence number. Right now it's at 0. Definitely feeling the motor here. I like the 93, 100, 112. Now it's kind of faded out at about 115. So they say, up to 120, but, and it does, I'm looking down and the chainring is still spinning at 120, but it's not, I'm not feeling much power at those levels. Try this again. Feeling it fade out, 119, 121, and then that's pretty much all me when we get up to that 120. So it's, an improvement over the PW. Definitely feeling very responsive. Like right when I pedal down, I'm getting the power assist pretty much immediately. See it spinning down. Takes a second, but it's got those traditional size chain rings, which is nice. And then shifting gears so I can hit those higher top speeds. Do a wheelie. Yeah, you can do it and get the extra power. And then 20 miles per hour it cuts out. It's our top assisted speed there.